Okay, so hey there guys. So today's video is going to be a review and swatching on the ColourPop So Jaded Kathleen Lights and ColourPop palette. So I wanted to show you guys what the outer packaging looks like. This video was requested by one of my lovely subscribers, a Little Mauve, I believe. So thank you so much for requesting that and asking for a review of this palette. I think I was going to review this palette anyway, but it's very, very sweet of you to ask me to review it for you. So this is what the outer packaging looks like. And it's the same as the inner packaging, but I'll just show you guys what it looks like. It has these beautiful different colors of crystals on the front, and it has this really pretty like lavender purple base color, and then it has like all these different colored crystals, and I think that's just so beautiful. And then it says So Jaded Kathleen Lights times ColourPop. And then the back has the name again, and then it has all of the shade names that are in the palette. And they're all shaped like gemstones, which I think is adorable. So each row comes with 6 eyeshadows, and there is 30 eyeshadows in the palette. Now this eyeshadow palette is the first 30 pan eyeshadow palette from ColourPop, and it does retail for $39, and it is available only on ColourPop.com. It is not available through Ulta. So now let's get into the inner packaging. So again, as you guys can see, it is the same packaging as the outside. It has the same really beautiful purple base with the crystals, and it has really nice cardboard packaging. It seems like it's a really, really nice material, and then the back is the same as the outer packaging and has all of the shade names on the back as well. So, and it says the same exact thing. But this palette does not feel cheap. I always really like the packaging that ColourPop palettes are made in. They never feel like cheap cardboard to me. They always feel like very hard and very sturdy and feel like they wouldn't easily break or wear out. Like this part doesn't feel like it would peel or anything. It just seems like it's amazing quality for the price. Okay, so when you open the palette, it says Kathleen Lights and ColourPop on the top. There is no mirror. And then it does have the gemstone theme again. This does fold all the way back, and it does come with a plastic insert over the eyeshadow, so I'm just going to remove that. And then these are all of the shades. Now, I am going to go through all of the shades and swatch them all for you guys, so let's go row by row. I'm going to tell you guys the names of the shadows first. So we're going to start with the first row up here in the top left. So the first row we have, there's 6 eyeshadows in each row, and there's a total of 30 eyeshadows. So we have Diamond, Rose Quartz, Ruby, Royal Jewels, Fluorite, and Moonstone. Then we have My Precious, Sunstone, Pearl, Citrine, Garnet, and Ametrine. Then we have Peridot, Your Gem, Topaz, Tiger Eye, Opal, and Aquamarine. Then we have Geodude, Carnelian, Stoned, Jasper, Turquoise, and Onyx. And then we have Emerald, Jade, Alexandrite, Smoky Quartz, Amethyst, and Sapphire. And those are all of the shades in the palette. Now we have one Super Shock Shadow, which is the shade Diamond. We have 2 pressed glitters, which is Topaz and Opal. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 mattes. Ametrine and Onyx are the only 2 like mattes with glitter in them. So they're like a matte with like micro glitters. And then the rest of them are the metallics. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 metallics. So we have 12 mattes, 11 metallics, 2 pressed glitters, 1 diamond, 1 Super Shock Shadow, and then 2 matte with micro glitters. So now we're going to swatch all of the shades. I think what I'm going to do for this, I think I'm just going to swatch them here and bring them down to here. I'm not going to use my arm to swatch. I'm just going to remove my bracelet and my watch, and then we're going to swatch everything for you guys. Actually, they say it's better to swatch this way, but it's fine. I'm just going to swatch them all this way. So I'm going to swatch with just my finger. If you guys want more involved swatches, you can always watch Kathleen Light's video, but This is how I usually do reviews. So I'm going to start with the shade Diamond, which is the Super Shock Shadow in the palette. I usually just go row by row. I don't go by finish. I just swatch them all in order. So I'm going to take Diamond first, and Diamond is this really beautiful, like super intense glittery shade, and it's perfect for like a glittery topper over any eyeshadow in this palette and also over any eyeshadow in general. And, or it's just gorgeous all over the lid by itself or on the inner corners. I've been using it in so many different ways. So now I'm going to swatch the first shade for you. This one does swatch pretty sheerly because it has a lot of glitter in it, but look how that reflects. It's so beautiful and metallic. It's definitely one of my favorite shades in the palette. So that is the first shade, Diamond. Then we have the first matte, which is Rose Quartz, and that one is a really beautiful, just very beautiful light medium brown shade, well, light brown shade, and it swatches a lot more pigmented than and a lot more like vibrantly than it is in the pan. It's kind of like a rosy quartz. Basically, these all like explain, like the names are self-explanatory. Diamond's like a beautiful like reflective shade that you would kind of think about for a diamond, but also I would kind of think a diamond would be more of like a white with sparkles in them, but I do like that it's kind of like an everyday kind of shade and it has like a diamond shift to it. And then Rose Quartz is just this beautiful rosy, smoky quartz kind of shade. Then the third shade we have is Ruby. And this one is a gorgeous metallic red shade. It's one of my favorites as well. It's actually what I'm wearing all over my lid today. And this one is just stunning all over the lid. Honestly, some of these metallics you just have to put on your lid and you'll see how beautiful they are. So this one is Ruby, and again, it's a beautiful metallic red shade. I love using this all over the lid. It's just so stunning. Then the next shade we have is called Royal Jewels, and this one is a matte peach. And this one's the first one that's kind of like, you know, just a shade that wasn't really named after a birthstone. It was just like kind of like a punny kind of name. So that one is the Royal Jewel shade, and that one is the matte peach. And that's what it looks like. Really beautiful. You could create a look with just these 4 eyeshadows and you're good to go. Then the next shade we have is called Fluorite, and this is a beautiful iridescent purple lilac-y kind of shade. It's so pretty all over the lid. Did I wear this all over the lid? I wore it once on the lid, but I think I wore it with another shade because when I was first testing out the palette, I was wearing a lot of shades together so I could test out both of them at the same time. I don't know what happened to my crease today. Hold on. Okay, so again, Fluorite is right there, and it's a really beautiful matte purpley lilac iridescent shade. Purpley lilac iridescent shade. Oh my god, that is a mouthful. But it's stunning. It kind of reflects a little bit of gold and blue in there. It is just so pretty. I love it. Okay, and then the last shade in that row is called Moonstone, which is also stunning. It's just a really beautiful shimmery color. And basically it just looks like moonstone. It's so beautiful. It's like a shimmery metallic gold shade. Like a goldish, white goldish kind of shade. But it reflects like these beautiful multi-glitters, and it almost reflects like blue. It kind of has like multi-glitters of like blue in it, and it's so stunning all over the lid. So that is the first row. Then the second row we have, it starts with My Precious. Look how pigmented that is. And this is basically your everyday run-of-the-mill brow bone highlight. I literally use this shade every time I use this palette because it's like the brow bone highlight that I use all the time on an everyday basis. And I just love those types of brow bone highlights. So that is what that one looks like. And that is the matte ivory shade in the palette. And it's just a great standard everyday matte brow bone highlight. And you can also use it to set like your concealer or your eye primer. Okay, and the next shade we have is another metallic, and this one is called Sunstone. And this one is a beautiful like orangey metallic shade. You guys know I'm a sucker for these kind of shades. I absolutely love these kind of shades all over the lid. I'm actually wearing this one on my inner corners today. I really love this one all over the lid as well. It just basically just looks like a sunstone. It's so beautiful. I love it. So that's what that one looks like. And then the next shade we have is called Pearl, which I love all over the lid or in the inner corners. It's a beautiful inner corner highlight. And basically it just looks like a metallic pearl shade. And that one is Pearl right there. See how much it reflects? It's kind of crazy. Like, it almost is blinding in the light. But that one is Pearl right there. And that's how that one reflects. It's stunning. Okay, then the next shade we have is called Citrine. And this one is another matte. And it's a matte yellow shade. And basically it's like a citrine kind of shade. It doesn't swatch as yellow as it actually is. It kind of swatches a little bit more like canary rather than like a yellowy shade. It's a little bit more of like a mustardy yellow. It's really beautiful all in the crease. Then the next shade we have is called Garnet, and this one is a beautiful matte burgundy red. And basically this one is self-explanatory. It's a gorgeous red. And it's basically like a garnet shade. And that one is Garnet. So those are the first two rows. So I'm just going to show you those and then we'll start swatching down here a little bit. Okay. Actually, we have one more in that row. We have Ametrine. I'm sorry. This one is a stunning like matte light purpley shade, but it has these beautiful multi-glitters in it. So it makes it really, really interesting. And that one is Ametrine right there. Really, really nice and pigmented. It's really pretty in the crease or as like a defining shade. It is really stunning. So I really love that shade as well. So those are the first two rows. Now let's keep on going. The next shade is my absolute favorite shade in this whole palette, but also because it is my birthstone. But I just think even if it wasn't my birthstone, I still think it would be my favorite shade. And this one is called Peridot, and it's a stunning metallic green shade. I absolutely love this shade. It's like a beautiful light green, and I just think it's so freaking beautiful. So that one is Peridot right there. Let me just drag it out a little. Oh my god, some of my swatches are always like terrible. So that one is Peridot right there, and it's this stunning yellow green, and I absolutely love it. I'm actually planning on wearing it all over my lid tomorrow, and I can't wait to wear it again. It's just so beautiful. Then we have the shade You're a Gem, which is another matte shade, and this one I'm wearing all in my crease today, and that one is a beautiful, another matte peach shade. It's more of a peachy or orange shade as opposed to Royal Jewels. So that one is You're a Gem. Again, this is a really, really great everyday warm crease shade for me. I use it all the time in the crease. Okay, so now we have one pressed glitter, but I think I'm going to take off these swatches for you guys. So far we have Diamond, Diamond, Rose Quartz, Ruby, Royal Jewels, Fluorite, and Moonstone. Why did I swatch it like that? That's the first row. Then we have My Precious, Sunstone, Pearl, Citrine, Garnet, Ametrine, Peridot, and You're a Gem. Let's do one more. Oh, actually no, because the next one is a pressed glitter, so that's why I'm wiping off this first row, just so I can swatch the pressed glitter properly. Can I speak today? I feel like my eyeshadow doesn't look that great, but whatever. It's like the end of the day after work and I'm kind of like really tired, so I didn't feel like fixing it really. Okay, so now starting off with the middle of the third row, I'm going to go into the shade Topaz. Oh, speaking is hard. And it is a beautiful multi-glitter. This shade is so pretty, you guys. All like as like a shade in between a shade or just like literally all over the lid. It is such a beautiful glitter. It's basically looks like a topaz shade and it's beautiful with multi-reflective glitters of like gold and red, and it's like a base of like a brown, like a metallic brown, and it's so, so pretty. I love that shade. Then the next shade we have is called Tiger Eye. So actually, my sister's birthstone is garnet, so she would be this shade, and then my brother is topaz, so he would be that shade. And then I think my dad is opal or diamond. I forget which one's for April. I think April's diamond. Correct me if I'm wrong. And then March is, I believe, is aquamarine. I think my mom is aquamarine. I'm not exactly sure on that one, but I know my brother's November is topaz, and my sister's January, which is garnet. Okay, so the next shade is called Tiger Eye. And this one is a really pretty metallic brown shade. It's like an olivey metallic brown. It is really, really pretty, a really interesting shade. Okay, then the next one we have is called Opal. And this is the other pressed glitter in the palette. It doesn't really swatch as well as Topaz, but again, it's stunning. And that is the other metallic glitter. And this one is so beautiful. It reflects like purple, blue, a little bit of even red in there. It's so pretty. Again, I use this with a like colorful look and it looks so stunning. You guys will see that look very soon. Probably before I put up this video. Okay, and then the last shade in the row is Aquamarine, and it's this beautiful like sky blue kind of aquamarine shade, and it's this beautiful metallic blue. This one does not really swatch very well, but it's so beautiful all over the eyes. It doesn't really swatch too metallic, as you guys can see. It's not as reflective as you would think it is, but it really looks like ocean water. Like, it's so pretty. So that one is Aquamarine. Okay, so last two rows. So then the next row we have has basically all mattes in it, except for Onyx. So the first one is called Geodude, and this one is a really beautiful, like, matte, greeny shade. And that one is Geodude right there. It's like a dirty olive color. So cool. I love using that in the crease when I do more of like a green look with this palette. Like when I did the Get Ready With Me recently with the shade Peridot, I used Geodude on the crease and it was beautiful. And then the next shade we have is called Carnelian, which is a gorgeous matte orange shade. And this one I'm wearing as my defining shade today. And that one is Carnelian. That one swatches just beautiful. These swatch like, honestly, these are some of the best quality mattes that I've ever had from ColourPop, but I just think their mattes and their shimmers are always amazing. Like, they have amazing pressed eyeshadows, and that one is a beautiful matte orangey shade. So that one is Carnelian. And then the next shade we have is called Stoned. And like she said in her reveal video, Stoned is basically the Virgo, but she put it in this palette and named it Stoned. So she said she couldn't do her eyeshadow without the shade Stoned in any palette, so she wanted to put it in this palette. So that one is Stoned right there, and it's a really beautiful, cool toned, deep dark brown shade. Perfect to smoke out any look or to put on the outer corners. Okay, then the next shade we have is called Jasper. And I forgot that Jasper also has micro glitters in it. So Jasper and Ametrine are like the only two like mattes with micro glitter in it. And I think Onyx is kind of more metallic, so we learn as we go along, right? Jasper is so pigmented, you guys. Look at that. That one is Jasper right there. That's like crazy. It's this beautiful like chocolatey red shade. It's so pretty. I love that for the outer corners as well. And I think I'll tell you guys about my look in a minute. And then the next shade we have is this beautiful matte turquoise shade, which is called Turquoise. And look at the pigment on that. That is crazy. Swatch it a little bit more. Look how pretty that is. So that one is turquoise, and that one again is a beautiful matte turquoise shade. It's so pretty in the crease. I love using it as a crease shade. Oh, it's so pretty. And then the last shade in that row we have is Onyx. This is actually the only shade that I haven't used from the palette yet. I probably should base a look around this shade, but I just haven't gotten around to using this one. I was going to use it in one look, then I ended up not. But that one is the shade Onyx, and it's this beautiful black shade with micro glitters in it. I was going to use it with a with one of my outfits that I was going to wear one day, but then I ended up not using it. I don't know why. I think I ended up using like maybe a different palette that day, or I might have just done like a neutral look. But I'm not a huge black eyeshadow person. Honestly, I will take a matte brown any day over a black eyeshadow and be happy with it. So, I do have to use that shade though, but I've used every other shade in the palette, so. Okay, so then the last row, we have Emerald as the first shade, which is a stunning green. So that one is Emerald. This one kind of really reminds me of like Emerald City from Wizard of Oz. Basically the same color. So that one is Emerald right there. It's a beautiful metallic green. I absolutely love it. And it kind of reminds me of like Maleficent as well. Which I'm going to wear like this palette for the movie. And I'm going to put Maleficent all over my lid and probably some Peridot. But it's so stunning. Then the next shade we have is a matte, and it's called Jade. And basically it's a beautiful matte green, like a jade stone. Again, it's kind of like a dirty olivey green. It's so pretty. Look at that pigment. Ridiculous. So that one is Jade. Then the next shade we have is another metallic, and it's called Alexandrite. And this one is a beautiful shimmery purple. So that one is Alexandrite right there. Again, a really pretty purpley shade. And it's like kind of like a bluish purple. So pretty. Okay, we have 3 more shades, you guys. So then the next shade we have is called Smoky Quartz, and this one is absolutely stunning. It's a beautiful metallic shade, basically like a smoky quartz shade. And I'll swatch it, I guess I'll swatch it down here. And this one reflects just so beautifully. So that one is called Smoky Quartz, and it's a beautiful metallic. I absolutely love that shade all over the lid. It's so pretty. Then the next shade we have is called Amethyst, and this one is a beautiful metallic purple. Honestly, it's like probably my favorite metallic purple I've ever used. It's so pretty all over the lid. And this one, again, it's just gorgeous. I love it. Is a beautiful metallic purple, and that one is called Amethyst, and it's right there. So pretty. And then the last and final shade in the palette is called Sapphire. And it's a beautiful matte blue. I don't know where to swatch this. I'm just going to swatch it right here. You guys will see how pigmented it is anyway, so I don't really have to do too much building up. So that one is Sapphire right there, and that is a beautiful matte blue shade. Again, I love using that on the outer corners and the, sometimes even like on this part, just because, but it's a beautiful blue shade to use on the outer corners when I do more like colorful looks. So those are the rest of the shades. So we have Topaz, Tiger Eye, Opal, and Aquamarine. Then we have Geodude, Carnelian, Stoned, Jasper, Turquoise, and Onyx. And then we have Emerald, Jade, Alexandrite, Smoky Quartz, Amethyst, and Sapphire. So those are the rest of the shades. I'll just give you guys a quick look. And then that is it for all of the swatches. So now I'll go over with you guys the formula, what I'm wearing on my eyes today, and the quality, and which ones are my favorites. So let's jump into that. I feel like I need another tissue because this tissue is like full of eyeshadow. Let me see if I have another one. No, I don't. Okay, so I'll just wipe that off afterwards because there's like so much glitter on my hands and like literally everywhere. Okay, so I think you guys know that I'm literally in love with this palette. I think that this palette is the best palette that Kathleen Lights has come out with ColourPop, and probably like my all-time favorite ColourPop palette. Like, if you guys want to try something different in your collection, and jewel tones are very on trend right now, along with like honey mustardy tones are very on trend. That's why Urban Decay came out with a honey palette. I don't think you guys would be disappointed with this palette. I think the quality is pretty much out of the park in this palette. All the mattes just blend so beautifully. They're so pigmented, and the metallics are so stunning on the lids. It's honestly such a pleasure to work with this palette every time I use it. I always look forward to using it every time I use it. I just really love it. So I really can't say enough things about the palette. I think that there's enough versatility in this palette that I feel like you'll get very different looks every single time you use it. And I feel like you could go with a green look, you could go with like a warm tone look, you can go with like a blue look, you can go with a purple look. Like, I've come up with so many different looks already with this palette, and I just love being creative and using different eyeshadows that I wouldn't normally use in a look every time I use this palette. So I really do love it. So what I'm wearing on my eyes today, so I'm wearing Your Gem all through the crease. Then I darkened up the crease more with Carnelian. Then I took Garnet and put that on the outer corners. And then I put the shade Ruby all over the lid. And then for my brow bone highlight, I just did my Precious. And then that was it for that. Then I did the rest of my face makeup. And then for the lower lash line, I just used a little bit of Your Gem. And I just smudged that a little bit. And then for the inner corners, I used the shade Sunstone. But I wanted just a little bit more brightness on the inner corner, so I just put on a little bit of pearl on top of that, and that is it for my eyeshadow look today. And again, it's just so easy to work with. I absolutely love it. And again, I think that this would be a great investment into your ColourPop collection. If you're a Kathleen Lights fan, if you're a ColourPop fan, if you just want something different in your collection, if you're first playing with color, I think this would be a great starter palette to start with. So I don't want to sound like I'm always biased with Kathleen Lights products, but they know what they're doing. Like, I think that the collaborations that they come out with Kathleen Lights, or with anybody in general, honestly, I think that they really do a phenomenal job. And the quality is never bad, which is a great thing as well. I mean, people want to pay for good quality when it's, especially for the inexpensive price tag that they're paying. I think that ColourPop lives up to the expectations that it's always going to be good quality. So that's why I just keep on going back to them. Like I said in my haul video, I wasn't originally going to get this palette because I thought it was just going to be too overwhelming for me, that I wasn't really going to know how to use the palette. But then once you actually have it in front of you, you kind of can start planning like what you're going to do for your look. And then it kind of just all comes together in the end anyway. And I feel like it always looks good. I think all the metallic shades are freaking stunning. So like I said, my favorite shades in the palette are Diamond, Peridot, And that's it for them. And Sunstone. And I love Pearl and I love Moonstone. Those are like Diamond, Pearl, and Moonstone I know I'm going to use on like an everyday basis. And then Smoky Quartz is stunning as well. I love this all over the lid. And then Emerald's a stunning green shade. I love it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. The mattes are beautiful. I think Your Gem and Royal Jewels are like my favorite mattes in the palette. But yeah, that's pretty much it, you guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed this review, and I hope you guys found it helpful. And please let me know if you guys are planning on picking up this palette. I really would love to know your thoughts. I always want to hear from you guys to see what you guys think about these products. But once I picked up the palette, I was really happy that I actually added it to my collection. And I'm actually planning on adding another ColourPop palette to my collection that I'm going to haul soon. And I just picked up another palette a few days back, right after I had tested out all the shades in this palette. I picked up another palette, and I just finished testing out that palette yesterday. So I'm kind of going a little bit palette crazy right now, but I just feel like brands are stepping it up with their palette releases this past year. That there have been so many different eyeshadow palettes I've been wanting to try, and I was like, initially I wasn't going to get this because I was like, I really just don't need it. But then after I got it, I really didn't, I kept on thinking about it. I didn't get it the first time it came out. I got it when it restocked like a week later, and I was kind of happy that I waited a little bit so I could get more use out of my other eyeshadows in my collection. But then I just strictly used this for like almost a week and a half, and I made sure that I tried out all the shades for you guys so I could let you guys know what I thought of the palette. So yeah, that is pretty much it, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe. Follow me on all my social media. I hope you guys found this video helpful. I love you guys. Bye.